Where's Mike? Mike, Diane and Dementia 8. Where's Mike? The question is repeated by Diane ad nauseum. It's like the drip, drip, drip from a leaky faucet, guaranteed to drive one crazy. At first, I tried to reason with her. As a Catholic youth, I was trained to argue. To no avail. You can't reason with dementia. This is one of the painful lessons one must learn. To be eligible for medical assistance in dying in Canada, you must be considered having a serious illness, disease, or disability. Mental illness was excluded until March 17, 2023. You must be in an advanced state of decline. It cannot be reversed. You must experience unbearable physical or mental suffering from your illness, disease, disability or state of decline that cannot be relieved under conditions that you consider acceptable. You do not need to have a terminal condition to be eligible for medical assistance in dying. I speculated spineless politicians would ignore those with mental illness, catering to the religious zealots who forced people to endure life without dignity or purpose. Sure enough, on February 2, 2023, the federal government announced plans to delay MAID eligibility for people whose sole medical condition is mental illness until March 17, 2024. They said that this delay will provide them with more time to develop practice standards and training and allow for better data collection and sharing. Translation. A load of bullshit. We elected timorous officials who received media blowback largely from psychiatrists. They might lose a sizable caseload and therefore revenue for keeping people like Bernie's David in a zombie-like state of suspended animation. In the United States, physician-assisted suicide is legal in 11 jurisdictions. California, Colorado, the District of Columbia, Hawaii, Montana, Maine, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. A 2018 poll by Gallup indicated 72% of Americans support laws allowing patients to seek the assistance of a physician in ending their life. However, assisted suicide remains illegal in most states. In 2022, the state of Oregon ruled it unconstitutional to refuse assisted suicide to people from other states who travel to Oregon to die, effectively giving out-of-state residents the opportunity to die by physician-assisted suicide. But before someone travels to Oregon to die by physician-assisted suicide, those helping the patient travel to Oregon might be prosecuted in their state for assisting a suicide. After lethal barbiturates are obtained, if the patient returns to their home state, those assisting with mixing the dose of barbiturates may be prosecuted for assisting a suicide. Assisted suicide was brought to public attention in the 1990s with the highly publicized case of Dr. Jack Kevorkian. He assisted over 40 people dying by suicide in Michigan. His first public assisted suicide was in 1990. Janet Atkins, a 54-year-old woman, was diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease in 1989. He was charged with murder, but charges were dropped on December 13, 1990. There were no Michigan laws outlawing suicide or the medical assistance of it. In 1998, Kevorkian videotaped himself giving a man a lethal injection, with the patient's consent. They aired the tape on 60 Minutes. This differed significantly from previous cases, where it was always the patients themselves who reportedly completed the suicide process. He was found guilty of second-degree murder and served 8 years of a 10 to 25-year sentence. He was released in 2007 and died on June 3, 2011. I should control the fate of my body. I have been doing precisely that for almost 8 decades. As long as I do not harm anyone in the process, I should be able to drop out when I want. If others have a problem with it, too bad. It's my body, not theirs. Deep down, government officials don't give a crap about who lives or dies. George W. Bush and Tony Blair bullshitted their way into an illegal war in Iraq. 40,000 Brits and Americans dead or injured and at least 1 million Iraqis. The Middle East was never the same, countless people dispossessed and reduced to refugee status. And in Canada, they worry about the expense involved in digging up a landfill to find the remains of murdered Indigenous women. Family physicians should have the knowledge and skills to respond to inquiries about MAID in a compassionate, patient-centered manner. If you are engaged in the healthcare system in North America, there's a ton of money invested in prolonging lives that are extraordinarily painful and without hope. I didn't know that in grade 10, but I know it now. This is a YouTube video based on my social media entries on dementia. I welcome your thoughts and prayers. I also welcome your likes and suggestions, particularly if you are engaged in similar struggles.